At UMC, access to your healthcare is only a call away. Dial 74-NURSE for free, instant medical advice from experienced and trusted UMC nurses, 24 hours a day. Learn more at umchealthsystem.com.
And welcome in everyone to RedRaiders.com. I am Zach Long. The Texas Tech football team gets a big win on Saturday in Lawrence over Kansas, 54-16. Another great performance by the Texas Tech defense and a little bit of an emergence on the Texas Tech offense in terms of a running game. However, all eyes were upon freshman quarterback Baker Mayfield. He goes down with what looked like a very ugly knee injury in the third quarter against Kansas. Hopes were a bit dim after the game. However, today we get a status update on Mayfield. Very good news if you're a Red Raider fan, and very good news for Baker Mayfield. Cliff Kingsbury telling us does not look like there is any structural damage inside that knee. That is very good news. Even an outside chance Baker Mayfield could see the game this weekend against Iowa State.
As it appears, and what I've heard from the doc so far is that there's no structural damage. So we got to get him over here today and see what all he can do on it, but that's about where we're at. So it doesn't appear to be a season-ending type injury. So timetable-wise, I'm not sure yet, but that was good news. If he missed Monday's a lighter practice for us anyways, more mental stuff, so that wouldn't be a big deal. So we just have to see how he feels today. It just depends. If Baker can't go, then obviously he'd get more reps than he's been getting, and just see how those other two guys are doing this week in practice.
And speaking of Iowa State and their head coach Paul Rhodes, they might be just a little bit mad when they wander into Lubbock on Saturday morning to take on the Red Raiders. Of course, last weekend against Texas in Ames on Thursday night, they suffer a heartbreaking loss. A fumble or non-fumble, depending on your interpretation at the end of the game, cost the Cyclones a win in that one. They are really fired up. You could see in the post-game press conference, Paul Rhodes was a little bit upset. So needless to say, they'll come into Lubbock fired up. And of course, Texas Tech fans and players need no reminder of what Iowa State is capable of doing after the debacle in 2011.
From what I saw in that press conference, they'll be fired up. He does an incredible job motivating those guys, and you see that on tape. The effort, first and foremost, what jumps out to you. All those guys play their butts off each and every snap, and that's a compliment to that head coach. Very sound. They don't give up anything, and then the effort jumps out. You have to match their intensity because they're going to show up ready to go, and they're not going to make mistakes. So you have to play a really clean ball game to have a chance against them.
I just think that we didn't really understand how to win, that year. Probably the most fun game I've ever been a part of, beating OU and Norman, and then the next week was just disastrous. And I specifically remember that no one was ready to play that game. Warm-ups, everyone was dropping balls and on just easy pat and go drills, and I just know that that's not going to happen this time.
So there you have it. Of course, very good news on Baker Mayfield. He was really starting to show some progression in the later half of that game against Kansas, really starting to look like the quarterback that I think that coaching staff envisions him eventually becoming. If he's not 100% and ready to go Saturday, the good news is Texas Tech has Davis Webb and now Michael Brewer, who, if you listen to teammates today, has progressed a ton over the last week. Would not be shocked at all to see Michael run out there and play against Iowa State on Saturday. Until that time, though, we'll have a lot of more coverage and wrap-up from the win over Kansas and get you set for the Red Raiders game on Saturday at 11 a.m. against Iowa State. We'll come up tomorrow with Don versus Twitter, so be sure and send your questions over to AJ_Don Williams if you would like to be featured on that show. Until that time, we'll see you next time here on RedRaiders.com.